Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. I'm Brian Winnekins. Joining us this morning at Danielle Endvick from Wisconsin Farmers Union, and we are going to talk about some things going on with Wisconsin Farmers Union. And thank you to the Farmers Union, our newsmaker sponsors, along with Elsivia Co-op, A&J Agronomy, Osteoplastics, also was Synergy Co-op, Annabis Silo, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, and Compeer Financial. And Danielle, thanks for joining us. Well, first, we've got the big convention coming up on the 29th. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, Brian. We're really looking forward to our 91st annual convention. So folks who are familiar with Farmers Union, we're a family farm organization started back in 1930. And one of the highlights of our year is this big gathering of farmers from throughout the state who help us set the policy that guides the organization through the year. So really looking forward to it.
And this year, like last year, because of the situation with the COVID-19, it'll be virtual, correct?
Yes, so we're going to be in a virtual format, and it's happening on Saturday, January 29th. So it'll be a good chunk of that day. We've got a few really great speakers coming in. Looking forward to hearing from our special guest is Andy Green, who's with the Fair and Competitive Markets at USDA. So he's actually doing a lot of the work around antitrust and making sure that there are fair prices and fair markets for family farmers. Really looking forward to hearing what he has to say. As you know, there's been a lot of movement on that issue this year. We also have coming in Patty Edelberg, who is the Vice President of National Farmers Union, who will give us a little update, kind of in that same vein, talking about the Fairness for Farmers campaign that NFU recently launched.
We're talking with Danielle Endvick as we chat a little bit about Farmers Union's annual convention. Now, Danielle, with it being virtual, this is for Farmers Union members. So how can they sign up for this?
Yeah, so anyone can actually be on there. So if you want to head over to wisconsinfarmersunion.com/convention, we've got all the details there. There is a deadline for anyone who wants to be a part of that important policy discussion. Anyone who wants to be a delegate, they actually have to register by this Friday, January 14th. But anyone else who wants to hop on and just enjoy seeing what it's all about, hear a lot about the rural issues impacting our farms and rural communities, they can register right up until January 28th. So looking forward to that. We'll also have like elections of our board members and a number of other good things, recognizing some of the members who have been doing good things throughout the year too. So looking forward to a good gathering, even if it has to be virtual.
There'll also be a discussion on issues that are important for Wisconsin that will then be taken to the national convention in Denver.
That is true. So we'll be electing our delegates for who will go to Denver. And then besides that, we've got our at-large position for our board being elected and a few other of the regional districts. So yeah, and we're really hoping that that National Farmers Union Convention will be in person. It sounds like it still will be, and really looking forward to getting a good group together to go to Denver.
So let's talk about some of the state issues that are going to be talked about at the annual convention. One of them is recently Governor Evers started a grant program for meat processing students or students who want to get into that industry. It's kind of pretty important with the way the supply chain has been and trying to find new workers and all of that. This could help out a lot of students and employers who are looking for students to help in the meat processing industry.
Absolutely. Just to run you through some of the special orders that we're going to be talking about at the convention, a few new ones this year, but a lot of the same ones we've seen in recent years too. And meat processing has been at the top of the issues that we are really working on, seeing a lot of movement on that at the state level this year. So some of the convention issues we'll be talking about include like regional fiber, meat processing infrastructure, preserving small and mid-sized farms, which is a really interesting special order that we'll be voting on potentially this year. PFAS and clean water, dairy policy reform, concentration in agriculture, climate change, all of those on the docket for being voted in as potential special orders of business or priorities for the organization for the coming year. But regarding that meat processing one, we've seen so much exciting action on that over the past year. And just this week, we saw Governor Evers announcing the allocation of up to $5 million for developing the workforce for meat processing in the state. And I know we've had lots of good chats before about the importance of this issue. It's just one that keeps rising to the top for our members.
Well, especially with right now, we're starting to see, the bigger processors are having, again, issues because of COVID. They're not getting enough people in. Now we're starting to see some hogs back up and cattle back up. And then on the other end of that, we're starting to see, maybe not here in Wisconsin yet, but we've started to see empty shelves once again. And so the more we can have this, that might help to alleviate some of these problems.
Absolutely. And, just like we're seeing an aging population in the farming community, the same thing is happening with the meat processing industry. So we just really are seeing a need to get some fresh new faces to get engaged in some of these training opportunities for, there's great programs. Madison Area Technical College has one that Wisconsin Farmers Union has offered scholarships to do artisanal meat butchery, which is something that maybe a lot of high schoolers coming out of graduating aren't thinking about as their future career, but it's such an important one. And I think with some of these efforts that have been brought forward, we can hopefully make some meaningful strides in getting folks interested in that profession.
Is this just kind of like the tip of the iceberg with some of this? Because I would say that even in the dairy industry, we have an issue with the lack of milk haulers, i.e. truck drivers. And so there's another area, or just the truck drivers to get what's coming from the butcher facility to the grocery store. We're even seeing a lot of that's another part of this whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think, we as an agricultural industry, we love being farmers for sure, but there are a lot of support roles for that industry that we need to be thinking about supporting. This funding in particular, it's going to be used to attract and provide financial support for students, to really focus in on some meat processing training programs and connect, potential employees into the industry. So a lot of potential there and a lot of hopefulness here. For us as a family farm organization, it's such an important topic because we as farmers can't thrive and direct market our meat and do things like that if we don't have enough employees to help support our local processing businesses. So really important for helping farmers have access to direct marketing and getting their fair share of the food dollar. So very exciting news this week out of the governor's office.
Talking with Danielle Endvick with Wisconsin Farmers Union about the upcoming convention. Again, it's going to be January 29th virtually. Just go to the Wisconsin Farmers Union's website. You can register for that as well. Danielle, I know another big topic. It's been a federal, state, local. Everybody's still talking about it, and that's the broadband issue. And I'm sure that this is going to be another one of those top topics at convention.
Yeah, definitely a reoccurring one that we have. And, thankfully, we've been able to kind of muddle through and do virtual programming for members, but it's always top of mind too, that we do still have, a major gap in broadband service in Wisconsin. So we definitely continue to advocate for that. Really happy to see what came out of the state budget this past cycle to support that, but a lot of need out there to keep moving on that too.
Again, it's the Wisconsin Farmers Union's annual convention, January 29th. It'll be held virtually. Just go to Wisconsin Farmers Union website for more information on that. And you can even register by January 28th if you're not a delegate. But if you are a delegate, Danielle, you have to do that this week, right?
Yeah, you do. And I just want to plug too for folks, if you're feeling sad that this isn't going to be in person, I know a lot of our Farmers Union members really love it's like a big old family reunion there. I just want folks to know we are actually shifting to a December cycle of conventions moving forward. So we have this virtual convention here in January, and then December 9th through the 11th, we'll hopefully be down at Chula Vista Resort for the 92nd annual convention and holding it in December moving forward. So,
Awesome. Well, that's some good news to hear as well. Again, that's Danielle Endvick with Wisconsin Farmers Union. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report.